Good evening everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we will do the next topic of our class 7 science chapter 2, that is the stomach. Okay, so let's start this topic. The stomach is a thick walled bag. Its shape is like a flattened J and it is the widest part of the alimentary canal. So the stomach is a thick walled bag. Okay, it is a thick walled bag. Its shape is like a flattened J. Flattened J means J is an alphabet in English, and J is an alphabet in English. So we can say that stomach's shape is like a J. Okay, and its shape can also be like the U, flattened U. Okay, and it is the widest part of the alimentary canal. Widest means, like, what is narrow, so the opposite of narrow is wide. Okay, so the widest part of the alimentary canal is stomach. This is very important line, this can come in the exam. Okay, then it receives food from the food pipe at one end and opens it into the small intestine at the other. So the stomach receives food from the food pipe and opens it into the small intestine. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juices. So the inner lining of the stomach secretes three things, that are mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juices. The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. The acid kills many bacteria that enter along with the food and makes the medium in the stomach acidic and helps the digestive juices to act. The digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. So then they are saying that so the inner lining of the stomach secretes the three things, that are mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juices. But what are the uses of these three things, mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juices? What are the uses of these three things? So first of all, the mucus. What is the role of mucus? So these three things are secreted from where? From the inner lining of the stomach. So this inner lining of the stomach is protected by the mucus. Okay, the mucus protects the lining of the stomach. And what is the role of hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid kills the bacteria that may enter along with the food. Like whenever we eat food, sometimes there comes some bacteria along with the food, so that bacteria is killed by the hydrochloric acid, and then this acid makes the medium in the stomach acidic and helps the digestive juices to act. Then these digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. Okay, so the use of digestive juices are that they break down the proteins into simpler substances. Okay, so this is very important, this can come in the paper, that name the inner lining of that name the three things that are secreted out from the inner lining of the stomach, and also what are the uses of them. So this is a very important para, you should learn it. Then the next and the Okay, so this was all in this paragraph. Okay, so now we will do our next topic, that is the small intestine. The small intestine is highly coiled and is about 7.5 meters long. So the small intestine is highly coiled. Coiled means it's round in shape and it is about 7.5 meters long. Okay, then it receives secretions from the liver and the pancreas. Besides, it walls also secretes juices. So, uh, so the small intestine receives secretions from the liver and pancreas, and its walls also secrete some juices. Then the liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland on the body. It secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac called the gallbladder. The bile plays an important role in the digestion of fats. So now now as we have learned that small intestine receives secretions from liver and pancreas, so now we will learn about liver. So liver is a reddish brown gland that is situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. Abdomen is our stomach, and you can see the liver also in the figure given on given in the starting of this chapter actually. Okay, so I will tell you the page number. On the page number 12 you can see the diagram figure 2.2. In that figure the human digestive system is given, in which liver is also given. Okay, so you can check out that. Then it secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac called the gallbladder. So the liver is the largest gland in the body, and it secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac. Sac means a poly bag, something like. Okay, so it is stored in a sac called the gallbladder. Okay, so sac is actually a bag. Okay, like in bag we carry our books and our all the things. Yes, so like that only in this sac bile juice is stored, and the sac is known as gallbladder. Okay, then and this line is very important, that what is the largest gland in the body, you will write small intestine. Okay, oh sorry, what is the largest gland in the body, you will write liver. Okay, then the bile plays an important role in the digestion of fats. So to digest fats, bile is really very helpful. Then the pancreas is a large cream colored gland located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrates, fats and proteins and changes them into simpler forms. So the pancreas is a large cream colored gland that is also a gland which is located just below the stomach. You can see that also in figure 2.2. So the pancreatic juices. So pancreas also secretes some juices that are known as pancreatic juice, and acts on carbohydrates, fats and proteins and changes them into simpler forms. So these pancreatic juices acts on carbohydrates, fats and proteins and changes them into simpler forms. These carbohydrates, fats and proteins are the complex substances which are changed into simpler ones. Okay, then the partly digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine, where the intestinal juice completes the digestion of all components of the food. Now the partly digested food means the half digested food now reaches the lower part of the stomach, lower part of the small intestine, where the intestinal juice completes the digestion of all the components of food. Okay, and the carbohydrates, now what happens to these carbohydrates, fats and proteins, these changes into simpler forms. But how? These carbohydrates get broken into simpler sugars, and fats into fatty acids, and proteins into amino acids. Okay, so you will underline this line because this is very important, that carbohydrates are broken down into simpler substances such as glucose, and fats into fatty acids and glycerol, and proteins into amino acid. This is a very important line. Then coming on to the next topic, that is absorption in the small intestine. So let's read this. The digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. So now the food that is digested, that can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. Now this process is called absorption. The inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths. These are called villi, singular villus. So the small intestine's inner walls have thousands of finger-like outgrowths, and these are called villi. In singular, we can call them villus. Okay. Can you guess what the role of villi could be in the intestine? The villi increase the surface area for absorption of the digested food. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. So what is the role of villi? Villi's role is to increase the surface area for absorption of the digested food, and each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. The surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials. Okay, so the of the villi, surface area for absorption of the digested food. So the surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials. The absorbed substances are transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body where they are used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body. So now the substances that are absorbed are now transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body where they are used to build complex substances such as the proteins which are required by our body. This is called assimilation. So this is the definition of assimilation. This is very important, and also the definition of absorption is also very important. Okay, so in the cells, glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. So in the cells, glucose is already an simpler substance. And how it is formed? Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose. Yes, we learned it. Yes, but carbohydrates get broken into simple sugars such as glucose. Okay, so now in the cells, when the glucose goes in our cells, these also breaks down further. So glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. Okay, and we get the energy. Yes, that's why uh, in the summers everybody say that drink glucose, drink glucose. There are some advertisements also in which they are showing that drink glucose. There are many packets of glucose also. Yes, so if we will directly drink glucose, that is also good, but our body also even create the glucose inside. Okay, in summers it is essential because it is very hot in summer, so our body needs more energy at that time. Yes, then the food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enters into the large intestine. Now we will read the next topic, that is large intestine. In the large intestine, we will read about that how the food is going out of our body. Okay, how the food is secreted out from our body. Okay, so now let's start from our another topic, that is large intestine. The large intestine is wider and shorter than small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter in length. So the large intestine is much wider and much shorter than the small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter in length, and small intestine is 7.5 meter in length. Actually the name is absolutely the opposite of it, that large intestine comes to know that large intestine is bigger than the small intestine, but it is not actually. In real, small intestine is bigger than small intestine is bigger than large intestine, and large intestine is not bigger. Okay, so it's so what is the function of large intestine? Now its function is to absorb water and some salts from the undigested food material. So the food material that is undigested, the large intestine absorbs some water and some salts from that undigested food material. Okay, the remaining waste passes into the rectum and remains there as semi-solid phases. Okay, so the remaining waste then passes into the rectum and remains there as semi-solid phases. So here the word comes semi-solid phases. So semi-solid phases. So what is the meaning of this word? This means the body waste. This also means the body waste. So so it goes into the rectum and remains there as body waste or semi-solid phases. In exam you will write semi-solid phases only, you won't write the body waste. Okay, the facial matter is removed through the anus from time to time. This is called extion. Okay, so the facial matter means the waste is removed through the anus from time to time, and this process is called extion. Okay, so this definition can also come that define extion, so you will have to write this full definition. Okay, so this was all in this paragraph. Okay, so today we will do only this much. Tomorrow we will continue with the next topic, that is 2.3, digestion in grass eating animals. Till then, revise till here. Goodbye. Take care.